Well, go and big up on yourself. I hope nobody no flood out and everybody was safe throughout the storm and the hurricane that passed. Alright, so from the title, I don't know what I'll be looking at today. So the other day, I did 2 videos on some housing developments in Clarendon. So I looked at the Monimus Country Estates that is in Hayes, Clarendon, and I also looked at Hummingbird Meadows that's in Birds Hill, Clarendon. Alright, so I'm gonna little view of the place, then gonna make a quick run through what it's like to get there, you know, the roads, the community and all of that. Anywho, the applications for these houses would have closed already because the application intake was August 17 to August 19, 2021. Alright, so I'm going to talk about now. You know, say it's after all of that, the heavy rain started falling. So I know a lot of persons from the Birds Hill area, and my ear so and so. Yeah, so like alright. So I know a lot of persons from the Birds Hill area, and I call a few of them because you know, so the road not up there, right? So but I just want to find out about the flooding and the area. So what I was told, if you look at my hummingbird video, you can see that at the end of it, where there's a lot of bush, I'm going to put a clip here so you can see what I'm talking about. So at the end of that road, before you go to the nice pretty road that leads you to the scheme, there is a little gutter-like thing. So what the persons were saying is that throughout the hurricane and the storm and the heavy flooding, the scheme was fine. So the hummingbird people them now gonna have no issue with flooding, because based on how the scheme is made, the water is said to run off, and them have 2 outlets for the water go to. But what they were saying is that they probably need to go revisit that and make them bigger, because what happens if the rain is falling continuously, then it overflows and it runs across the road. So you know, right there, so you'd have to park on either side and wait until all of that water runs off. So that's the only issue that you might have as it relates to getting to your house. When they too much water there and the thing them overflow and run across the road, you know, say after that draw down, then you can. But then say it's very fixable. Right, and say easy something that we fix. And say, alright, that's not so too bad. Alright, as it relates to the Monimus Estate houses, on the other hand, it's not as easy. It's not an easy fix as with the hummingbird situation, because I was on TikTok the other day and let me see this video which I'm going to share with you. Because it really did cross my mind, because I know say down here is the so. I mean, it's veer and it's veer plain, and you know say plain flat. So at the back of my mind there is always the issue of flooding, and I saw this video, I was like, oh my god. So the houses there, they were flooded, right? I mean, for persons who have applied for the housing development already, yeah, I mean, I don't apply for. But I guess this is something that the NHT would have seen. I know that they have to work on this in the future, you know, the whole flooding issue that is there down at Monimus. So I mean, you know, say interview until probably a year in or so, right? When you're being interviewed, people, I like all them questions, they must ask the people them, because let me tell you something, you know, an interview is not just a one-way thing. Yes, you have something that I want, but I mean, what does what I want also have to offer me in return? You understand? Because if I go to this place, in place of follow, it's going to be an additional cost to me, and probably at the end of the day, it make no sense. But I mean, they know that these things are being publicized, because people not hide the facts, they don't let it flood out and all of that. So I guess that they will be, you know, working on the drainage system down there. but for right now it needs a lot of sorting out, because even the video that I did down at the Moneymus estate, where I showed you the back of one of the properties that I looked at, you realize that there was got you know what name or something the water run through. No tell me in the comments right now. One of them did something there, right? That was at the back of it. And when I saw that too, first thing come to my mind and say, oh, there's a water issue here, right? And then let me see the video or down the stay, and I said, but I guess Inoshevelle says fixable, but for all the persons who showed some interest in those properties and you have actually applied, you know, when it reaches that point, especially for Moneymus, these are some of the questions that you should ask, because in interviews you are required to ask questions too. Alright, so it's a little update. I just want to know what's going on as it relates to, because a lot of persons don't know, you know, when they buy a place, they have to be mindful of weather. You understand? They have to be mindful of weather, because me kind of house hunting, and I can tell you, say, most of the places where you see them sell for X amount of money, you see, if you know the history of the place and know that it's prone to flooding, you can really, what I say, ball on the price. You are able better to negotiate. Yes, well, for want of a nicer term, you can ball on price, kind of sound one way, but I don't know. Anyways, as I get long though, I just wanted to give you a short update. I hope you found it useful. If anything else, you know how to reach me, because I have a lot of information. Alrighty, so until next video, everybody, pick up on yourself and keep safe. Alright.